How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Soccer Report podcast. I'm your host, Dante De Thomasis, alongside my co-hosts, Tony and Niko. And here we're finally back, finally back.
Social distancing, of course.
Yeah, at Sportsplex.
On Canada Day.
On Canada Day. Should be good. And before we start, we want to thank our sponsors, Cataldi Fresh Market. They're the best guys. Check them out at Islington and Highway 7. And they got a new upcoming location very soon, potentially this summer. Potentially at Keele and Lawrence. Should be great. Check them out, guys. You got everything, pastries, hot table, you name it. It's all back and running. Check them out.
Awesome.
So,
guys, welcome back to Sportsplex on Canada Day. I guess this is our Canada Day edition. A lot of great Canadian soccer news. We're talking about Alphonso Davies, Canadian being named Rookie of the Year in the Bundesliga.
Incredible.
A lot of exciting things happening in Canadian soccer. MLS is getting its start again soon in Orlando with TFC in the same group as Montreal. So a lot of exciting news. We're going to talk a little bit about that and maybe some international stuff. But I think the first thing we want to talk about is TFC and the MLS reboot in Orlando. Talk a little bit about the tournament. Niko, you and I were talking about, is it luck that a lot of these rivalries end up in the same group, or, is it a coincidence, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the live feed on YouTube with them picking the balls out of the hats. They had the representatives from each team to make their choice of what they wanted, because TFC was a high seed. They were the first seed in their group. I mean, they say it's all luck, but you have Toronto and Montreal end up in the same group. You have both LA teams end up in the same group. You got two of the three Cascadia teams in the same group. That's not luck. MLS sat down. They said, okay, this is what's happening. They told the representative teams, this is the balls you're picking. Even the LAFC representative kind of stumbled at first on his thing, and he said it looked like he was trying to remember what ball they told him to pick. So don't tell me that this was all luck. This was predetermined. I mean, I'm okay with it. Yep. We got a good group.
Montreal, baby.
Montreal.
Let's do it
Thierry
again.
Henry's coaching. We're doing some great games. I'm excited for the tournament. MLS is back. Let's go.
Absolutely. A little bit scary that it's in Florida, one of the states with the highest rates of COVID-19. And I know they're going to be isolated at the Disney Sports Complex, but, they're going to be in contact. You have to be in contact with some people. As much as you want to isolate, they're surrounded by a state full of people with COVID-19. And what happens if potentially a bunch of players get infected?
Are you telling me they couldn't go anywhere else? Orlando seems to be the worst destination in the world.
It has to be.
For COVID-19 right now, right?
I completely agree, Niko. I don't understand. It's like, we have grown men in a Mickey Mouse theme park.
Yeah, well, I guess the complex is easy enough to house all these teams.
You got the hotels, you got the facilities.
Right.
But you look at Vegas. Why couldn't you go to Vegas? There's less cases there. You got the hotels, you got the facilities. I just think that would be a much more realistic place than Orlando.
I mean, the sports world is a Vegas hub. So.
I do feel like it might get shut down, though, the MLS and NBA season.
What's the possibility of players getting infected and then shutting this thing down after all this planning and all this work to get this tournament done?
It has disaster written all over it. I mean, like we were saying before that we started shooting, it doesn't seem like a lot of the players want to be there right now.
You're absolutely right.
And that's both MLS and NBA too, so it's not just making a soccer thing. Both leagues doesn't seem like they want to be there right now. They're trying to tailor it to them as much as possible, but then you see like what happened yesterday with Omar Gonzalez tweets out a picture of his lunch he was given there.
Unbelievable.
I've had better food on airplanes, like we were saying.
Unbelievable. If anyone hasn't seen that, follow Niko, and he'll probably post that on Instagram.
I'll retweet that on my Twitter at Niko Moniz. It was bizarre seeing the food that they were given. These are professional athletes. How do you give
a professional player a ham sandwich on rye bread and say, here you go, that's top performance nutrition?
No.
Only in the MLS, and this is why soccer is still a joke in North America, because of this type of stuff. You're telling me there isn't some kind of nutrition expert monitoring everyone's lunch and saying, hey, a ham sandwich isn't going to do it? It's not going to cut it for these high performance athletes?
And that's another thing too. Like I've been to Disney World as a kid, and not even that, but the amount of salt they put on everything at that place.
But I'm sure they could have went to the kitchen and talked to the chef and the hospitality people and say, hey, ham sandwich isn't going to cut it. We need a proper diet and nutrition plan.
And it wasn't even like a good-looking ham sandwich.
It was the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Worse than, like
in a box.
You hit the nail right on the head there talking about soccer in North America. Because honestly, COVID, before this whole MLS is back thing, almost kind of helped soccer in North America because they had nothing to watch. but Bundesliga. And who's
right.
starring in Bundesliga? Alphonso Davies, ripping up the wings there for Bayern Munich. He had a lot of eyes on him, and he performed every single game.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it was looking like it was going to be a really good time for soccer in North America. Even a few Americans playing the Bundesliga again, like Josh Sargent, guys like that, they were playing as well, getting eyes on the league. People were getting excited about it. Now MLS is coming back. It's perfect because there's still a few weeks before the NBA and NHL comes back too. So all eyes will be on MLS.
Perfect time.
They better not flounder the opportunity.
Absolutely. They got to really showcase this league. Listen, you know what? Right now, all eyes are on pro sports. Any pro sports.
Anything playing.
If you've got any live pro sports on TV, you've got a worldwide audience. So you got to put your best foot forward, and you've got to get these players comfortable and prepared. They're already hesitant to be there. Now you're giving them crap to eat. It doesn't make for a good start, especially in the state of Florida, where they said the cases of COVID-19 are just spiking every day.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you know what? Let's go under the assumption that the tournament starts, goes off without a hitch. What are TFC's odds?
Niko, I gotta tell you, I mean, TFC's odds I think are pretty good here. I don't see. Well, obviously, I see them getting out of that group that they have.
I hope so.
First group.
I mean, that should be a standard. I mean, their biggest competition, I think, is going to be coming from the West. It's not even going to be coming from the East.
Yeah.
So whoever, if they meet somebody on the West side, whether it's Seattle or
as long as Montreal doesn't take us out.
Oh God, no.
You know, as long
God,
as
no.
Montreal doesn't take us
God,
out,
no.
and like Niko said, Thierry Henry is the new coach. Doesn't have a great record as a coach, so it's although he's a World Cup winner, played for France, phenomenal player himself. Coaching record is something to be argued, but at the end of the day, we got to beat Montreal.
Yeah, we have a healthy TFC, guys. Like, I'm so excited to see Piatti too.
Well, yeah, Piatti healthy, Bradley back healthy. I mean, what worries me though is now players that were shining
Achara
before.
was on a tear.
Achara was on a tear, but now where does Achara play if Piatti's in there, right? And now with Bradley taking a spot back in the midfield, Piatti coming there, a few players are going to kind of be lost in the shuffle here, especially because this is a tournament, right? You got to go out and win every game. You don't have time to experiment with the lineup, unless, of course, you win your first 2 group stage games and your 3rd group stage game is whatever. The good news is about Montreal not taking us out is we're in the same group as them. Even if they finish first and we finish second, we both go through, and we won't be facing them in the knockout rounds, at least for a few rounds, right? So that's the good news. I mean, Group A is the only group with 6 teams, I believe. Everyone else is 4 teams. Yeah. And you look at it like, 6 teams, that kind of sucks. You know what those 6 teams' records were for the first 2 games of the MLS season? 12 games, 6 teams, 12 games. They were 0 wins, 3 ties, and 9 losses. That is a terrible group.
Oh my God. What's that? Like Philly? Like I think it was
New York City FC, the 2 new teams, Inter Miami and Nashville, got moved from the west to the east.
That's right.
I think Philly, there's Chicago maybe. There's 6 teams in there, and they have 0 wins combined out of the first 2 games of the season, 3 ties and 9 losses. Crazy. Yeah. So I mean, I hope we face whoever makes it out of that group in our first knockout round match, because that'll be an easy match. I'm telling you.
True.
Absolutely, but with everyone healthy, I think TFC has a great chance.
They have to.
You know what?
I agree.
Altador, just everybody, Bradley being back, I think the chances are very good for TFC.
And we've had so much time to prepare for this.
Absolutely.
So I mean, we've seen Josie Altador working out. That guy is
a beast.
And he's down in Florida. He's acclimatized.
Right.
So he's ready to go.
So what are the odds of a TFC Seattle Sounders final here in the MLS's back tournament?
I think it's high. It's got to be high, Niko.
It's got to be high, right?
Third time now, 4th time's a charm? Who knows?
I mean, you're right. I'd say it's got to be high, too. And then, they say the regular season's kicking off right after this tournament, too. So it's an exciting time. Apparently, the group stage games count towards the regular season. The group stage matches go for points in the standings of the regular season. So it's big games, right?
I'm looking to see, too, how they adjust, considering it's been such a long layoff.
Do you think them playing at a neutral site with no fans will have a positive or negative impact on them? I think in Toronto it's going to be a negative, because I think the fans obviously made the atmosphere for TFC for all these years. So I think for them it'll be a negative. For some of the newer teams, I don't think it'll be an issue. You won't have a fan base. Teams like Miami, who are new, won't make a difference. Yeah, absolutely.
And another thing too, fans push players.
I agree.
So those chants, when they're cheering them, it motivates them to keep going. And
they feed off it.
Yeah, exactly. They play
even,
better.
Even
everything.
as a fan, when you watch Bundesliga or Serie A that's been running, it doesn't feel the same.
No,
You
it's
know?
like your kid's soccer game with the communicating and
You know,
shouting.
Speaking of that, though, what do you guys think of the piped-in sound noise they've been doing in some of
Yeah.
the games?
I'm not a big fan.
Not a big fan.
Or some
You
of the
can't
standing
replace
cutout
it.
people that they had.
So the
in
you
cutout
gotta
people-
stop replacing people. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, they had to do something. It's empty stadium, so I do like that. For EPL, DAZN has been putting out the 2 different videos. You can either watch just the commentator sound and no fan noise, or piped in fan noise,
Right.
which I do like. Because I don't like the fan noise myself. I've heard some people that love it. Me, I actually don't mind hearing them yell at each other on the pitch. I think it's interesting.
hearing
You
the
hear them
players.
going. You hear them going at each other.
I think the person who benefits from that is actually kids growing up trying to be a soccer player, because you're looking now at what it actually sounds like if there was no fans and the communication, and there's big takeaways here. So as a kid, if you're silent on the field, you shouldn't be silent. You should be communicating, hey, I want that ball, or hey, I'm open, or hey, drop back and cover. Like, the communication is a big waking
It's key.
point
Yeah,
for people.
really important.
Especially with the keepers. I bet you we hear we hear Quentin Irwin, sorry,
Westberg.
Quentin Westberg. I think 2 years ago now. Westberg there just yelling at everyone. On
Oh,
that back
man.
line. Oh, you're just gonna hear that voice carry through the whole
Or
game.
somebody who allows a goal, you're gonna hear it for sure.
Good. We hear the real deal commentary.
Yeah.
Just on another note, you were talking about the kids in development. This COVID-19 has been horrible for local
Everything's
youth
been
soccer.
canceled.
Everything's canceled.
Terrible.
OPDL's been canceled in Ontario. League One's been canceled. So really set these kids behind in terms of play, especially in North America, in Canada, where our winters are so long, and most of the year they're training versus playing. Do you think these kids and programs will get off the ground again? I know obviously as a facility here, we're hoping the teams start coming back and training. But do you think this is going to put the Canadian development program behind a bit?
It's tough, Toe. It's tough. It's very tough. I really hope it doesn't. I'm obviously a very positive person, but I just see the development here, and I don't know how to adjust to this, to be honest. I really don't.
Honestly,
I really don't.
I think it's going to be detrimental to
I agree.
to
Yeah.
the leagues. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be very important for them to go really hard once this opens up to push it again. And you know what? Will it fail for if you're a U13 right now? Yeah, you're losing a year, or under that, you're losing a year,
Yeah.
and you can still get that back and move. But what about these poor guys that are 16, 17?
That's right. Yeah.
It's probably one of their last few years
Peak
in the
years.
programs. And if they're good, their next options are, okay, we're going to try maybe MLS, maybe CPL now, with the CPL being an
Right.
option in
Yeah.
Canada. But you're missing a whole year of your season.
That's right.
That's crazy to your career. That could shut you right down,
Absolutely.
losing a year. You know what I mean? Like,
Those
obviously
years
these
are
guys have to
huge.
be doing stuff themselves, but that doesn't take away and help you when the season starts up again the year after. It's going to be really tough for these guys, and I really feel for these kids.
You know what it is too, Toe? I think more you're gonna like as a player, as a young player. I'm telling you guys now, you need to brand yourself. Okay, go out on social media, show people your skills, and just prove to the world that you're good. Because in this day and age, it's going to be even tougher now.
Absolutely.
Getting access to facilities or fields or even teams and leagues. So
Well, we were just talking about CPL. CPL doesn't have a plan in place. Second year
Yeah.
of the league's existence, and who knows if it's going to run or
How
not.
Yeah.
unfortunate is that?
Terrible.
They had a
Terrible.
first year that surprised a lot of
Yeah.
people,
I
finishing
was
a
so
lot, doing
happy
a
for
lot
them.
better than a lot of people gave them credit for at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
including us. We were kind of hesitant.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, we had every right to be hesitant at the beginning of the season, but they succeeded in their first year. Second year, they did a few revamps to kind of make it even better in the second year, and then this happens.
yeah.
I mean,
like Ottawa Fury, right?
Ottawa's-
So, owned really by Atletico
Madrid, Atletico
which is
Ottawa,
amazing,
right?
it's
Atletico
incredible. But now even that start has been put on hold. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
can they recover from this?
They're talking about doing a neutral site for the whole season. They're talking about doing it out east in Moncton, maybe, or BC would be perfect, but the government's not allowing it right now, so it's looking like it's got to be either Alberta or Ontario. And anytime you mention Ontario to any CPL supporter that's not a York 9 or Athletic Ottawa or a Forge fan, they immediately shut you down. Oh, look, Canada doesn't revolve around Ontario.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah.
a break, guys. It's neutral site. Who cares where they play as long as they can play? If it's in Toronto, it's in Toronto.
Yeah.
Who cares? These guys need to get on the field.
agree.
They need to get their second season underway, and they need to complete it. This league will be running on fumes if it doesn't get a season
know.
off this year.
I agree, Nico, and they're going to be in a big hole. And I feel bad mostly for teams like Forge, to be honest, because they made it so far too. With obviously they're champions, but the way they performed in the CONCACAF Champions League, I was so amped to see their growth.
Although I think in markets like Hamilton, markets really anywhere outside of Toronto, they did really well.
They
Did
surprised
really well.
everyone. I think
I was
I thought
so
last
happy
season
with
was a
them.
huge success.
Forge
It was,
especially,
with the exception of Toronto.
York was the only exception, but you look at now, they're still putting in money. They signed about, I think, 2 Brazilian kids this offseason, a few out, 1 or 2 from Asia. They brought back Ryan Telfer from Europe, who went away for a few games. They were able to bring him back. So they're still spending money, which tells me that they're very confident in the fact that they can make things happen this year.
I really like York this year, going far, potentially winning the whole thing.
They've talked about a rebrand too. There was rumors going around that they sent out a survey to a few of their fans, and the whole Generation 9, their supporters group, was very upset about it because obviously they're named after York 9. But thinking about a rebrand after 1 year is a little sketchy. I mean, we didn't really like the name York 9 to start with anyways. It was kind of confusing.
And I don't think most fans did, and they realized that, unfortunately, a little too late.
I think you got to stick with it.
Yeah, now you got to stick with it.
You got to stick with it, but best of luck to them. Hopefully the CPL can get off and running and they have a full season and they continue to be successul for many years, because that is super helpful for Canadian soccer.
I was just going to say, great for the youth, right? Gives them
That's
another outlet, another
That's
professional venue. We need that here in Canada, especially moving towards 2026, where we're sharing the World Cup with Mexico and the U.S.
And that's the goal here. I think we're gonna have a solid team then. We're gonna see Alphonso Davies in his prime.
Yeah, he'll be the leader. That'll be his prime.
That's gonna be crazy.
Be him and Jonathan David's
Jonathan
team.
David, yeah.
It's another guy that's been killing it.
We have a youth movement coming here. We have a youth movement.
Yeah, so where do you see great players, obviously like Alphonso Davies, they're going to gravitate towards Europe, obviously, because that's where the greatest reward, financial reward, is. Do you see more of a movement of really talented Canadians towards Europe?
Yes.
Yes. It's a no-brainer, but I see the CPL as an outlet and a showcase to show your skills. I don't want the MLS to be it in the future. I want CPL to be that outlet.
I feel like that's great, a great hope and aspiration. Is it realistic within the next decade? I don't think so. But moving forward, I think that's their hopes, that the CPL can start being the housing for all Canadian talent getting out there. And I mean, they might not be saying it, but I know that they're kind of hoping maybe Vancouver, doesn't do too well, and then ends up joining the CPL maybe 5-10 years down the road, say Montreal, and then make them back to an All-American league. Of course, to me, I think Toronto FC, unless they really sky up their budgets in the CPL, there's no way that'll happen for Toronto. But it seemed like Vancouver, it's very possible within the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And speaking of Alphonso Davies lining up with Canada, Alphonso Davies is a winger, right? He plays a winger for Canada. For Vancouver, that's what he played. But Bayern Munich has him as a left back. And honestly, the way he played for Bayern Munich, I would argue that he is the best left back in the world under the age of 21. Maybe best left back in the world, top 5 left backs in the world, we'll say.
I agree.
Right now, the way he's playing. And this is only his second season at left back. But now coming back to Canada, does he play left back or does he move back into his winger role?
He's got to move up.
You think he's got to move up?
He's got to move up in the winger. Yeah.
I say you just create a new position for him. Let him start at left back and let him run up and down the field like he does at Bayern. The only thing, he's got to make sure you have 2 good center backs covering. That's Canada's problem right now, is we're getting a lot of good, younger, attacking-minded players like your Jonathan David, your Lucas Cavallini, your Alphonso Davies. But where's our defense? Donial Henry? Come on. You want to say Henry's going to be our center back moving forward? Give me a break. No offense to you, Henry. You've given TFC a lot of goals. An own goal last year in Vancouver to help us win that game. Thank you very much. But you can't rely on them. You need to get solid defenders in there, which is what we don't have right now. And that is my big worry for Canada's national team.
I agree, Nico. I agree. I mean, what was the game? I think it was we played. I think it was Haiti. We were down
Gold Cup.
We were down 2-0. We were up 2-0.
Ended up losing 3.
We ended up losing 3-2. Like,
it's defense.
It's
defense.
Yeah.
We need better defense.
How about women's soccer? We saw the launch of the women's professional league. They just launched
WS,
last week. Do you see a bright future for women's soccer for young Canadian girls and North American girls?
I think if we can build off the momentum and legacy that Christine Sinclair has brought to Canada, we definitely have a future and a direction. So I think anything's possible with women's soccer. We're one of the top teams in the world, Canada.
Right.
So
I'd love to see it. I mean, personally, I have a little cousin who's going through the rep system right now, and she's loving soccer.
Beautiful.
I'd love for there to be something for her in the future.
Absolutely.
Why can't there be a women's CPL?
Yeah.
That's right.
Why can't we have
Absolutely.
our own? Why is it going to be North American Women's Soccer League? Why can't we have
That's
our own in
right.
Canada, where we bring our own talent through the Canadian system, let each team take maybe 1 or 2 foreign talents as well to build the team up, but have a majority Canadian talent? And why can't we have a professional league here for them?
I agree.
It's a crime we don't have one right now.
I think
It's really
is.
backwards.
the problem we have with Canada is geography. Because we're not really a densely populated country based on the amount of
It's a lot of
land
expense.
mass,
Yeah, it's
right?
huge.
It's expensive to run
travel.
a team in Canada.
Yeah.
So if you're on the East Coast and you've got to travel to the West
Yeah.
Coast,
Halifax
you've got to have
to
deep
BC.
pockets and big budgets.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you could keep it to the Northeast, let's say, that would make it a lot more viable and feasible for an owner to run a team.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. A nice Ontario, Quebec, Canadian
Yeah.
Women's Soccer League
And
where
maybe
they
in
run
the
through
end you
there.
have a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, you could have one league out in BC, Alberta, one league in Ontario and Quebec. Winner of both leagues faces each other in
Yeah,
the
that's
Super
it.
Cup at the end of the year.
That's
Something to get women's soccer going here, because
Yeah.
there's the talent is definitely here.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And it's
100%.
growing exponentially in youth soccer as
100%.
well. My neighbor right now, I see her outside every day kicking the ball at her house. She's super upset that soccer's been canceled this year, but she's out there every day giving it her all.
Yep.
So it's kids like that that if
Commitment.
they know they have a future in it too, you watch. The sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I think we're more closer to having a solid Canadian women's pool than we are a men's pool.
Agreed.
So if we can get a league to facilitate all
I
that,
agree.
I think that's needed big time.
I don't know if you guys were at the game, Team Canada versus Mexico, the women's game at BMO last year, but one of the best games I have seen, bar none. Forget about men's, women's. Like, it was amazing. Even the environment, the crowd, it was just fabulous. If you ever get a chance to watch the Canadian women's national team, make sure you do it because it's fantastic.
And shout out St.
great.
Clair, she's the trailblazer for all this. Of course, there's a lot of great other players right now. I hate singling out St.
Yeah.
Clair, but she's, when you think of Canadian women's soccer,
Exactly.
she's to Canada what Hayley Wickenheiser is to women's hockey for Canada as well. You know what I mean?
She's on the Mount
She's next
Rushmore.
level. Christine St. Clair is one of the best female soccer players of all time, not just Canadian,
Right, yes,
right? Most
yes.
goals, all that stuff. So I mean, every girl's now being able to watch that happen and think, you know what, I want to grow up, I want to be Christine St. Clair. So we need to make sure that the proper policies and way to get there is in place by the time these girls that are 12, 13 get up to 16, 17, 18. So
For sure.
Completely agree, Nico. Completely
For
agree.
sure.
yeah.
So, guys, let's give our predictions. Obviously, hopefully we can have more podcasts throughout this tournament, this MLS tournament. But I think TFC could win it all. That's my prediction for this. I really believe that, with everyone healthy, Altidore back, Bradley back, everybody feeling good, I think they got a real shot at winning this tournament. You guys agree?
I think so, too. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I personally have them going far, but I don't think they're going to win. I think somebody from the West, they're just too strong. I personally have LAFC winning it.
With
So,
Vela and
With Vela, I just think
Zlatan's gone, so
Yeah.
that rivalry is.
That rivalry is-
I just think that firepower of LAFC is just. gonna be
Zlatan's
too
gone,
much.
but Chicharito's there now,
Right,
right?
right.
So, I mean, I'm kind of feeling the same thing as Dante. I mean, I'm trying not to laugh as Toe's giving his Toronto Sea prediction. Toe's waiting for him to say Toronto's about to win if they fire Vanny,
No,
kinda
no,
go
no,
up on
no,
that.
listen,
But
you know
no,
what? I think with this tournament format, like you said, it's a tournament.
it's a tournament.
You got to win every game,
And
I
that's
think
Toronto's wheelhouse.
You got it. I think they can do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna agree with you, Toe. I think Toronto right now has to be one of the favorites to win this tournament. LAFC, they're built for a tournament like this too, but they proved it in last year's playoffs. One game they can slip up like they did against Seattle. They can slip up in that one game. Over the course of a season, they're gonna be dominant, but one game here and there, you never know. A few teams that I'd be watching out for though, if I was Toronto on the West anyway, Sporting Kansas City. They're a team
Yeah.
that I wouldn't be surprised if they made a run. Over on our side, you never know with a team like New York City, who started the season slow. You never know, they pipe in and they kind of make their
They're
way
a
through
weird
the tournament.
team. They're
a weird
such,
team.
like, you don't know what they're
there's,
gonna-
there's a lot of teams that could surprise you, but Toronto has to be one of the favorites. All it depends on is Piatti coming in and gelling with the team, Bradley being at full fitness. If Piatti comes in and the team doesn't miss a beat and he's a great playmaker, fantastic, they can go all the way. If he doesn't within the first game, Vanny better be taking him off and keeping him rested for the rest of the regular season and throw a Chara back in there because he gave
Yeah.
us everything we needed in that first game on
I
the way.
absolutely. I mean, we had the pleasure of interviewing him. What a tremendous person! Just such a hard worker, and it's
absolutely.
incredible.
One thing we didn't talk about just before we wrap up is TFC2. We don't know if the USL is going to run. Right now, they haven't decided on whether or not they're going to run a tournament themselves. So, unfortunately, that may not be happening. There's some great talent on TFC2. I've been watching these guys for a couple of years. They got their captain, Fido Oval. They got Jordan Peruzza, who was ranked one of the top 10 future players in North America. They got
Kello, like they got
they've got a lot of young talent.
Yeah.
So we got to watch out for them because this is the future of TFC as well.
I'm excited.
So excited about them. So hopefully they can play. I want to give a shout out to the equipment manager Frankie Russo. Thanks for everything. The guys are wearing some of the masks that we designed here at GTA Sportsplex. So shout out to all the guys on TFC too.
Perfect. I mean, before we wrap up, you want to touch on some European soccer a little bit?
Yes,
EPL, Serie A.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know we were talking about Messi scoring his 700.
700, guys.
So him, Ronaldo, they joined the ranks of the real great players.
What a career.
How lucky are we to watch two of the greatest of all time to play at the same time?
Amazing.
It's incredible. It's a blessing.
I mean, people will still say Maradona could be there. But even Brazilian Ronaldo and Pelé, I think right now we're watching the two soccer players that will go down as the top two of all time. There's obviously going to be that argument always there for who's one, who's two.
Yeah.
Honestly, we all need to just shut up and enjoy the time that we have with them left because Ronaldo's going to be 36 soon.
I was just going to say,
Messi's going to be 33 soon.
It's insane. They're
And,
pushing their bodies
after
to the
Ronaldo
limit.
scored his goal, he ran to the Juventus bench and he embraced, or he gave a fist pump to one of his heroes, which is Buffon.
Yep.
Buffon being 40, whatever he is, 43 years old, looks like he could still play probably another year or
That
two.
Coppa Italia game, the final, they lost the penalty kicks. The only reason they made it to penalty kicks was because Buffon was playing like he was 25 years old
got
again.
it.
He was
You got
incredible.
He was playing out of his mind, making some
incredible.
ridiculous saves. Napoli should have won that game 3-4 nothing.
I agree.
Yeah. So
They didn't
how
play
much
well.
longer could Ronaldo really play at the top flight level? I could potentially see him coming to MLS because I don't think that guy wants to ever stop playing soccer.
I don't think he does either.
Right?
He has this
So you
amazing.
could see him in a place like Miami. I'm sure he would love Miami or LA.
yeah.
Right? Do you guys see him continuing to play?
Yes.
I see him in Europe a few more years still.
I agree.
his-
If he keeps playing
his
like this,
drive
absolutely.
His drive. I mean, look at the shape.
And
the
fitness
guy's
and
in.
conditioning.
Well, I mean, when
insane.
when he transferred to Juventus, they did that whole physical fitness test, and he had 7% body fat, which the average athlete in their mid-20s has 10 to 11.
He destroys everything.
He's better than these younger guys still,
Yeah,
absolutely.
physically fit-wise. I mean, you can see in the last few games, I do attribute it to Juventus not having a great team built around him in the midfield especially, but you have been seeing him kind of falter a little bit in the Coppa Italia final and a few games there, but then you see games like yesterday where he just comes out, he runs from the half field right in, and then blasts one to the back of the
they
net.
just
Like,
clicked, yeah.
like he's still there. I think he'll still be in Europe for at least 1, maybe 2 more years, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see him come to the MLS when he's kind of 38, 39, like Ibrahimovic did.
Absolutely.
I mean, he doesn't even have a gray hair.
No.
So
He's in
he's
top
good.
physical condition.
He's good. Yeah, I think he could go till 42, 43,
Well, and that's
to be
the
honest.
issue, though. Everyone keeps comparing him and Messi. Messi is 3 or 4 years younger than him,
Yeah,
right? So,
absolutely.
so Messi's still going to have some more time to get through and get some more accomplishments.
Do you
but
think Messi hits 1,000 goals?
300 goals, and he's...
That's tough.
You got to remember, he's been playing since, 18, 19?
Yeah.
So it took him, 14, 15 years to get 700?
700.
Yeah.
I don't know. 1,000
It's pushing
goals
it, but-
is a bit of a push for me, anyways. Especially since you know what, Barcelona's not looking too good. All their players are old now. You look
Yeah.
at Suarez is at 31 or
Yep.
32.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
all their
that team.
midfields in their
Aging-
30s. They just
aging
bought
team.
Pjanic, who's 30 or 31.
Aging team.
PK Vidal. Like,
Aging team, man. Unless they put some young guys around him. I know they're going after Inter's Lautaro or whatever.
Martinez, yeah.
Lautaro Martinez. And unless they put some young guys around him, he's going to have a tough time next year. They're having a tough time with the league this
I
year.
agree.
They're 1 point behind Real Madrid, and Madrid has a game in hand now because they
Yeah.
couldn't beat Atletico yesterday. So.
Yeah.
But Messi's going to have a hard time when he realizes he doesn't have that support that he's so used to.
That the
Because
Xavi
Messi,
and
as
Iniesta
great
days.
as Messi is, which he is, like I said, top 2 of all time, he's always had great delivery in the midfield and on the wings
Yeah.
for him as well.
I agree.
I can't say the same for Ronaldo. In Madrid, yeah, he had great delivery, but this Juventus midfield,
Yeah,
Oof.
he's
Yeah.
literally
not
taking
good.
the ball from half. and
it's
just-
that midfield is not good. You
Yeah.
got a bunch of players to me that would be on an average team. They shouldn't be on a Juventus.
yeah.
What do you guys think about? I know we're going to Juventus now. The rise of Dybala. He could be the next big thing.
I
You've seen in the
love him.
last couple of games.
I love him.
He's
This
so
kid is
skilled.
on fire. Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
so skilled. Again, a guy I don't think pairs well with Ronaldo. Then I don't know if their playing styles mesh well
Yeah.
together. But by himself, if he goes anywhere else, or if he stays in Juventus and Ronaldo leaves, that guy's going to be a superstar.
Absolutely.
He's magic.
I agree.
He's
He's-
magic.
I agree.
He's a fantastic footballer.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
so
I think
good.
he would shine a lot more if Ronaldo were not there.
I agree. And you know what? The year before Ronaldo got there, he was really doing a lot on that team. And then
Yeah.
Ronaldo got there, and it took a while for them to mesh.
Right.
And now they have those games where together they're awesome, like yesterday.
Yeah.
And then they
think-
have the games where they're just both kind of just running
Yeah,
into each
well,
other.
Honestly, I think it's gonna click very soon because I watched that Genoa game yesterday and I saw this is finally the Juve that I
Right.
wanted to see finally come to life. Like,
Yeah, but
just,
we saw it last year at games too, and then it went away.
Yeah.
It's scaring me because it
I
doesn't
know.
seem like they can get
I know.
that chemistry together.
I know they need that consistency. It's so important, but Sadi's got to get that message across.
To me, he's not the right coach for the job.
I agree.
Nothing
I
bothers me
agree.
more than going to penalty kicks and saving your best penalty kick taker for fifth and not getting to him, which is what they
Yeah,
did to Ronaldo in the Coppa
yeah.
Italia.
It's
You need to
insane.
get the goals right away, put your best
Right away,
kickers
best.
first.
Yeah.
What am I watching their center backs taking penalty kicks before Ronaldo? It's a
Ridiculous.
joke.
I know.
Danilo is
Ridiculous.
taking a penalty
Oh
kick
my
before
God.
Ronaldo,
I knew he was gonna
and then he
miss.
sails it right over the bar. Give me a break.
Ridiculous.
Your best kickers got to go
Gotta go
first
first.
to set the tone. You
I
can't
agree.
wait till you're fifth. Portugal did it in 2012 when they lost to Spain in the Euro Cup. Ronaldo went fifth, never got to him.
Yeah.
Happened again here, never
That's
got
right.
to him. You got to learn your
true.
lesson.
Yep.
Dybala, they want Dybala to shoot first, fine. Ronaldo goes second.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It's not hard.
It's true.
Absolutely. Yeah, history teaches you a lot of lessons, and you're right. Best shooters got to go first. And you know a lot of coaches do? They let the players decide. That's a mistake.
No, you
know
send them
what?
out who you want.
sit them
I
down.
bet you Ronaldo too is there. He's like, you know what? I'll take number 5. That way, if it comes down to me,
Yeah.
I know I can score for the win. And if we lose, it's not my fault. I get that, but you got to make him go first. And I don't know what the fascination is with these coaches who love center backs taking penalty
I don't
kicks.
get
I don't get it either.
They just hammer the ball at the net, and
What-
half time
what
it goes
is-
in, half time it
when does
misses.
When does a center back practice penalty kicks? I
Never.
don't get it.
They love
That's
the
why they
power.
miss.
They love the power on them, but you look at a lot of the times that's the guys that are missing.
A striker's job is
You have strikers and you have
score.
attacking midfielders,
Yeah.
and you got Danilo taking a penalty kick. Come on,
Makes no sense.
makes no sense
What are
to
you
me
gonna
at
do?
all.
What are you gonna do?
Ooh, I think that's about 30 minutes there, boys.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Time to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Dante?
guys.
Enjoy the rest of our Canada Day, you know.
Exactly.
Get some Molson Canadian beers, have a poutine.
Happy Canada Day, guys, to all of our viewers. We thank you so much for viewing everything. And before we leave, we've got to thank our sponsors again, Cataldi Fresh Market. They're the best, guys. Check them out. They won't let you down. They're the best. And guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank
As
you
always.
so much.
Hopefully we get more of these now going forward with TFC back, you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned, guys. More to come. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play.
Everywhere you can get your spot.
Exactly. The
Podcast.
Soccer Report podcast. You have any questions, you come to us. And take care, guys. Thanks for watching.
Take care.